Hello lovely simmers, SimsEclaire here and welcome back to my channel. For today's video we are doing something very exciting, or at least it's exciting for me because I've never built one of these before and it's kind of like fun and different. This is a water park. Now when I was thinking about what I wanted to do for Oasis Springs, it's kind of like a deserty neighborhood. It's very warm all the time, very sunny, and I was like, what would be the best thing to put in this neighborhood that could function as a community lot? And I was like, if I was living in the desert, I would want a water park. And I've been thinking about water parks a lot recently because obviously everything like that is still closed down where I am, and I had gone to the beach over the summer, and because everything was closed down, we kind of just like chilled by the water and everything. But there used to be this really awesome water park right by where my beach is, and I was really missing it. And so I was thinking about that while I was building this, and I'm also moving to a relatively warmer area than where I live now, so I was thinking about how great it would be to have water parks there as well when they can obviously reopen safely. So my brain was all about water parks, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna try and figure this out, because obviously we all know water parks do not exist in The Sims. We don't even have slides, at least not real slides. We have the toddler ones, but we don't have any like tube slides or anything like that. So I kind of had to make some stuff up as I went along, so I hope that that's okay. This lot will function as a pool. That was what I was playing it as, and your Sims will show up and they'll swim around in the quote-unquote lazy river that I created, and they'll lounge on the lazy chairs and stuff like that. So it will function as a pool. It will not function as a park or anything else because I don't have any chess tables or anything, but I'm pretty sure if you just add some chess tables, it'll function as a park as well. So that's completely up to you. Over here is the bar area. So in the water park by where I live, the really big one, there's kind of like different sections, and I feel like that's how all water parks are. There's the kids section, the like slide section, and then the relaxing adult section, and then the food. And I wanted there to definitely be a food section here because I figured that if you were taking your Sims here, they would be spending the whole day. So you'd want to make sure that there was food and, you know, drinks and stuff like that to sit and really enjoy your time here. So the area on the right that we were just building is the bar. The area on the left that we kind of skipped over towards the beginning is where like the bathrooms are going to be. And I didn't furnish those yet, which is why I didn't really talk about it that much. So when we get to the end of the video, when I actually put the locker rooms and everything in, that's when we'll talk about that more. But right now we are creating the lazy river aspect of this build, and unfortunately what I'm doing right now does actually end up having to get deleted because I didn't realize how complicated it was going to be to draw or to design the slides around this, because it kept like trying to put the roof pieces and the slides and everything that I was using for them inside of the pool. So I did end up having to delete this, but it's okay. Obviously I redo it at the end. You guys saw the video at the beginning, so it does end up okay in the long run. I did just want to let you know that it doesn't look the same as it does right now in the end of the video because I did have to redo this entire part. But right now we're building like a little bridge area. Now the only way to do that is to technically have that section of water blocked off. So that is unfortunate. Your Sims can't swim all the way around. Now if you're not that particular about having a bridge, then you could just delete that floor, and then your Sims can swim all the way around, and then they just have to swim to the island. But I thought it made a little bit more sense to have a walkway to the island. And then over to the left, this is obviously because of the pirate ship where the kids section is going to be. And I wanted this to be kind of like a kid and toddler section. And what I wanted to do back here was kind of that sprinkler area where there's like these little sprinklers in the ground, and then there's also like the water from the pool is coming up, so it's like this like always wet playground flooring, and there's like jungle gyms on it, and there's buckets of water that you can have dumped on your head and stuff like that. So this is kind of what I was thinking when I was doing this area over here, which is why I did the 2 monkey bars. Now before I upload this to the gallery, I am going to move the monkey bars. They are not functional the way that I have them. I thought that they would be, but unfortunately they do not work, so I am gonna have to move that. And the pirate ship, I also want to let you guys know, is also not functional. And I can't quite find a way to make it functional while keeping it in the water, so I don't really mind all that much that it's not functional because they have the monkey bars. But let me know in the comments down below if you want me to move that onto land, so that way it is functional for your Sims, and then I will go ahead and do that. But I wasn't really overly concerned about it. But right now I am filling up this space with sand because I figured since this is the kids area, it was kind of like a giant sandbox, and toddlers and kids can play in this sand because it's the one from Island Living. And you might even be able to play in the base game sand. I'm not 100% sure. Some people say you can and some people say you can't. But this is the one from Island Living, so definitely with this sand, your sim can build sand castles and stuff like that. And then I also just added a couple of toddler items as well, so that could kind of multi-function as a toddler area. And then over here, I'm just lining the pathways because I did want there to be a little bit of a barrier because I am going to be doing some landscaping. And then I extended the dining area because I realized that there was only like large family tables, and this could be a really nice spot for a date or something for your Sims. So I wanted to kind of try and also add in some 2 tops and 3 tops here and there, so that way you didn't have to come with full-blown families to this water park. And then this is the chill adult area. So this is where all the lounge chairs are. This is where all the moms are gonna come get their tans, and the dads are gonna come and drink their beers and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I was thinking. That at least that's what my parents used to do when we went to water parks. So that's kind of the image that was stuck in my head. But here I am creating floaties or rafts, whatever you guys call them, tubes. I'm not 100% sure what they are called around the world. But basically, most lazy rivers, at least where I live, you're required to have that specific type of tube. Now, unfortunately, we don't actually have any of those in The Sims, so I did just create some using the cats and dogs dog training equipment. And they won't function, but I do end up adding a couple of the rafts from Island Living in here as well, just so that there is a couple of functional rafts throughout the park. And then going up here, this is where the slides are going to be. So I saved this for kind of last, and unfortunately, I did also end up losing some of the footage. You guys get to see me create the generalized shape of both of the slides, but you miss out on like the finessing, which I probably would have ended up cutting out anyway, so I'm not really that annoyed by it. But my computer, I have a lot of stuff on my computer, and it has started to run out of space. And so well, this one drive has started to run out of space, I should say that, and it ran out of space and stopped recording, and I didn't realize it while I was building, so unfortunately we did lose a little bit, but not too much. And here is where I'm kind of trying to get fancy. So I've never really done this in my builds before, but because this park is in Oasis Springs and it's surrounded by the mountains, I wanted to kind of play off of that and have this slide be on a tower of like mountainous rock. And so I'm using these debug rocks from base game, and I'm merging them together to kind of try and hide the base of the stairs, and I'm going to bring them all the way up to the top so it looks like the platform is resting on the top of the rocks. And then here we are creating a little bit of like a waterfall style thing. You could see it a little bit in the video at the beginning of this video, and then you can see it in the screenshots at the end. But these get together diving boards have waterfalls that come off the side of them, so I just merged a whole bunch of them together, and then they're going to flow into that pool right there. And I was a little nervous actually about this area being functional, but it is. Both of these pools, the one that I'm building right now, and then there's another one at the bottom here, both of these pools end up completely functional, including the diving boards. And don't ask me how. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's just a glitch, or maybe they decided to be nice and let you use the diving boards even when they're raised up with the 9 key. I have no idea, but both of these pools do end up functional, so I thought that was kind of cool, because obviously the slides aren't functional because, like I said at the beginning of the video, we don't have slides in The Sims 4, so it's kind of cool that they could still like chill out in this area and there's something usable on this island. It's not just, you know, empty wasted space. And then another thing that I wanted to mention is, again, I end up having to kind of redesign this because where the slide ends up is like right where the end of this bridge is. So I do end up having to move the bridge and move all the rocks and everything, but I think I did end up cutting that out of this video because that was just that it took me a really long time to get everything to kind of finesse. But here we are starting to work on the slides. So I really wanted there to be a tube slide because those are my favorite when I was when we had water parks, and I couldn't quite figure out exactly how I wanted to get it to work. So I do kind of scrap the idea at first and just go for the one that I thought would work the best, which is using roof pieces. So I did not create this on my own. I've seen a couple of people do it on Instagram, and I kind of just wanted to try it out. But some of the slides at water parks are just like open-ended, really long, excessive, like straight down, excessive angle slides, and I really wanted to try and build those. So what I'm doing here is putting a roof piece and connecting it to the platform that I have above, and then just making it super tiny so it looks like a single slide. And then I'm going to change the colors of them so that way it looks like there's more than one, and so that way it's kind of like there's 3 slides. You can maybe like race your friends and stuff, and you all go down and then you land in the water, and ta-da. Now the one thing is though is that the end of this slide isn't technically into a pool. Now that's totally okay because the slide doesn't function obviously, but you can't place roof pieces into pools, so I had to kind of like just paint the area that it was in to look like it was a part of the pool and that your sim was going to go directly in there. So I hope you guys don't mind about that, but this was very much a like trying to make this work kind of a deal. But I'm really happy with how it turns out. I think that it turned out really cool looking. And over here, I figured out a way to do these tube slides. So I merged roof piece slides like I did with the left slide, and I merged them with the tubes. So that way it was kind of like an in and out slide. And then that way you could still get the angle down, because that's what I was having an issue with. I couldn't get the tubes to like angle down, and I had to kind of figure out how to do that. So that's why I used the roof pieces, so that way it would still end on the ground and it wouldn't just be a one level slide. And then here we're about to start with the landscaping. So the landscaping is pretty simple. It's all debug plants mostly from Island Living and base game because of the Oasis Springs build, Oasis Springs. And then back here is kind of like the hot tub area, so there's the jacuzzi bubbles at the bottom of the pool, and I'm going to be placing a lot of the Island Living plants out back there to kind of have it be like this tropical oasis that, you know, adults can go hang in or teenagers can go hang in and be like away from the kids and away from everyone else, and kind of just have like their own little relaxing spot with the jacuzzi bubbles. So that was kind of my idea for the back area there. And then, like I said, we're just doing some simple landscaping. I do end up turning this into a fountain because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to put here, but I had this space and I had this plant, and I thought that doing this like feature fountain right as you walk into the water park would be like a really cool idea. So I did decide to just use this giant plant, and then I don't end up adding any other plants to it because I thought that it looked like it was too much, so I just do some different water spouts for the fountain, and then I add a border so that way you can kind of see the difference. And then back here we're just doing a little bit more landscaping, just trying to fill in this area, make it all nice and lush and colorful. And now we're into the locker rooms. So the room to the far left, that little square there, is where I imagine people would buy their tickets from, and they would get their keys for their lockers from, because this is definitely like a public locker room slash bathroom. And then these are some showers. I didn't think your Sims would take actual showers here, which is why I didn't build any stalls or anything. I thought that it would be like a quick rinse. So if it bothers you, you can go ahead and switch them to stalls. The stalls will be functional, but I wasn't imagining Sims actually taking showers on this lot because I would never personally take a shower at a public water park. I think that, I don't know, that just kind of weirds me out. But I'm kind of weird about germs like that as well. But there is 2 separate ones. They both have gender neutral doors, so your Sims won't get locked out of them. I just thought it would look better with 2 instead of 1. But besides that, that is it for this build. So I hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!